Hello, and welcome to Back to the Movies. I am Zach.
I am Stolis. Welcome back,
And-
everybody.
Yeah, it's good to be here. How you doing, buddy?
I'm doing good, buddy. How you doing?
I'm doing so good. I got so for those just joining us, this is Back to the Movies. Stoles and I have been friends for over 20 years. We met in acting and film school back in college, and we're excited. We really just needed a reason to talk to each other because it's
Yeah.
really hard to schedule things as adults. And so we started a podcast. So at a minimum, we get to talk to each other, and if folks get to enjoy it as well, then so much the better. But that's what brings us here today. It's good to have y'all.
Yeah. And
So-
today we're doing our Marvel Cinematic Universe recap of all 36 movies, Zach. I
I
should know these.
believe 36. Yeah,
36 movies. So we're tackling the Hulk, Incredible Hulk, I should say.
Yeah.
That's day 2 of this whole journey into the cinematic
right.
universe. But before we do that,
Yeah.
so we're just gonna play catch up because that's the whole point of this thing, is so we can kind of hear about what we're watching, what we're doing, and more importantly,
What's going on with life? What
what
you
we're
drinking?
drinking.
How you doing?
Yes.
So
Cheers.
what you got going on? Oh, and it's Memorial Day today.
Yes,
that
we're recording this on
so-
Memorial Day Monday. So we thought if we talked, I said we have to, because we haven't released these yet. We're banking them a little bit. It's a little bit of our launch, and we didn't want to talk crap about Eric Bana and then have some bad happen to Eric Bana, or
No.
so he's the greatest guy in the world and he turns out to be a real.
He
piece of
really
shit.
did fire everything.
Yeah. So yeah, for posterity, we are just marking. We are recording this Memorial Day Monday.
That's right.
Enjoying a lovely glass of Lalo tequila.
Ooh, just straight on the rocks there.
Yeah, it's
Ooh.
I've gone on a tequila journey. I was never a tequila gentleman. I like my beers, like my whiskeys, and I have a good friend Alex and a good friend Fernando, and they're both tequila guys. And they're like, "You gotta start drinking tequila." And I was like, "I have a very bad connection with tequila," and I'm not, so he's like, "No, you gotta try no
The
additive,
good stuff, man.
the
Yeah.
good stuff. Like you don't skimp." And this is not even high end. It's just mid tier, but
Yeah.
it's so good. It's
And-
smooth. It's perfect tasting.
Yeah.
What do
Last
you-
episode, I was drinking Arete Reposado, and
Mm.
that was so it was kind of I'm a bourbon guy. I was about to say by trade, but I'm a bourbon guy mostly, but I really just kind of enjoy everything. But Reposado is kind of like a really nice in between, and I've been enjoying that as well. Today, though, I had some friends over last night. My birthday was not too long ago, and so they gifted me a Whistle Pig Rye 6 years aged. And I don't think I've ever owned. I've had Whistle Pig out and about, and I've had folks, recommend it to me, but I don't think I've actually had a bottle in my house. So,
Oh, nice.
cheers.
Nice. This is now officially a
Mm.
cocktail podcast. We're just switching gears.
Hell yeah, let's go.
But yeah, that's what we're drinking. We're gonna have a little fun today. Memorial Day, day off.
Mhm. Whoop, whoop.
Yeah, weather was terrible. I'm recording in New York, and Zach is in Dallas. Texas.
Dallas. That's
We had
right.
2 very different climates. And this weekend was a complete wash. And ironically, today when we're recording,
Oh, it's
is the
unfortunate.
one decent day. The sun came out, so I'm.
You
I
doing
had,
inside?
yeah, I could have recorded this all weekend in the rain, but that's
Well,
where
so
we're at.
I'm not full. Well, kind of the opposite. It's been called for rain down here for 8 straight damn days. The weekend actually turned out lovely, even though it said it was going to rain like crazy every single day.
That's wild.
Every morning it was like tonight's going to be terrible, and we've had pockets of some pretty good weather, so I'm grateful for it. But today is the opposite. It is very much
Oh yeah,
loud banging thunderstorm businesses and
that's
hail
wild.
and all
Texas
sorts
weather,
of fun.
man. Texas weather.
And nothing like it that
Yeah,
I've personally experienced. But
yeah.
yeah,
What else?
man.
I'm trying. Yeah, she said, what else is going on? Do you want what have you watched this week? What have you been
Well,
watching?
I saw Mando and Grogu in
Yes.
theaters,
Okay.
and I suspect, based on our very facetious texts, that we have differing opinions.
Yeah. Before we got on, I was like, it's we're saving all this for the podcast because
That's
we don't
right.
want to get into it over the phone. And I'm like, so the podcast is our excuse to hang out and talk, but it's also not making us talk in real life. And
We
it's
gotta-
I
we
don't
gotta
know.
bank it.
We got to find the balance here. But you've alluded, and I don't know who wants to go first. I'll let you go first because it's gonna be. I have to hear this. What was your take on Mandalorian and Grogu?
I enjoyed Mandalorian and Grogu in theaters. I would say it was my favorite I mean, not that there's been a whole lot of opportunity, but yeah, I enjoyed it. It's the most Star Wars fun I've had in the theaters since Last Jedi, which we'll probably get into in a future episode. But I personally enjoyed Last Jedi, and I recognize that's a whole different conversation. But I really enjoyed Mando and Grogu. I thought it was fun. It was just a swashbuckling adventure of the Mandalorian and Grogu. Very little character development, very little like larger impact in the Star Wars universe. But I don't, for me, I watched half of the one trailer and then nothing else. I'm like, I'm just gonna see it. Everyone knows I'm gonna see it. I've watched all 3 seasons. I saw Book of Boba Fett. I did a little rewatch of the last 2 seasons of Mando and the Mando-centric episodes of Boba Fett. So I just did all that. Mando almost never has any character development in the TV show. So for me, it was like I feel like it identified early on to me thinking I'm paying attention that like, hey, we're gonna have a lot of fun. This is gonna be a fun adventure. Mando's gonna get in some fights, and Grogu is he's second billing. He's going to have a lot of his own story as well. It's not just going to be him on the shoulder. And so I think for the very little marketing that I got into with the movie. It was satisfactory, fun Star Wars. I personally, for just a swashbuckling Star Wars adventure, I couldn't have asked for more.
Okay. That's a very optimistic look on it, and
I'm
you're
an
not wrong.
optimistic
Honestly, you're
guy.
not wrong. I had a little bit of a different take on it. I I think it's a perfectly good kids movie. And this again, we can unravel Star Wars, and I think we will at
I'm
some
sure
point
we
on our
will.
journey here. At its core, Star Wars is typically a designed for children, and even more so, designed just to sell toys. And sometimes you have an Andor in there that really delves in and has it's
Right.
like a juicy, fine dining steak of a story. With Mando, I found myself tremendously bored. And it starts off awesome. It starts off, and if you didn't see it, uh, skip ahead or whatever. It kind of opens up with this like big James Bond opening that
Yeah.
we've seen,
Sick.
but we've it was really cool, and I had fun
Hmm.
with it. But I've seen that in the show. I've seen it many times
Yeah.
in the show, and
Hmm.
I feel like this movie has no conflict at all. It has no interest in stakes. It has no interest in challenging. The character doesn't grow.
Nope.
Grogu. No,
Nope.
doesn't grow. Nothing happens except. You'll appreciate this. You probably like it more after I say this. It felt like I was playing a knockoff video game of Mandalorian Grogu, where you have the character and now he has a
Yeah.
to-do list. It's not a plot, it's to-do list. I have to go see this person. Great. I
Yes.
have to go. There's even a scene where he goes, I have to go home and rest. A save point. It felt like a save point in a video game.
Literally.
And like the sun goes up, and then I just it's void of anything interesting. And I think they purposely scale down all the references to the TV show. That is
Hmm.
actually really good. The first 2 seasons are remarkable. The 3rd one,
Hmm.
you can start to see kind of like where they're stretching it a little bit maybe, and I think now it's evident that the Mandalorian tap is either drained or
Oh no.
they gotta do something different, because this was basically a highlight reel of all the things I don't necessarily love about the show, but it's a good it is, like, it took all the
I
worst
hear
things
you.
about it and highlighted it, and I think they purposely played it safe. There's no reference to any of the characters. It's kind of like
No.
if you've never seen the show, you can watch it, maybe you'll start watching the show, and that's inherently the problem with the movie. It's like, it's not a movie. This should be on Disney Plus as a gateway
It
entry,
I felt
and
like it was another season of Mando with a higher production budget.
I would even venture to say it didn't even look that great. I mean, it's a smaller budget compared to other Star Wars movies, but I thought the pilot episode was gorgeous, and that's obviously shot by the guy who
Yeah.
did Batman 2 and Dune, so you got a real visionary behind there. This felt like a cheap version of it, and it felt like it was either corporate mandated from Disney, like, "Hey, we need a Star Wars thing because we have to meet our quota. Just put something together." And I was tremendously bored. It's 2 hours and like 18 minutes
Yeah, it
to
didn't need to
cut
be that long.
I've never thought I'd be like, if I see another shot of a spaceship flying into a planet, I'm gonna lose my mind. And that I was like shot after it was just padded. So I did not, Zach, enjoy this. And there was a few moments I'm like, okay, now it's turning the corner. But then it just there's nothing. It's a nothing burger of a movie. And it's a shame because there's so much potential there. And some episodes are remarkable. Some of the episodes are some of the best Star Wars out there. And
Can
to
be.
now you have your movie, it's your first movie in like 7 years after Rise of Skywalker, which is the worst movie in the entire series, bar none.
We agree on
Not even
that.
close.
Not
Not
even.
even close. And now you're making a statement like this. We're back, and this. I'm like, it's just. It's good for the kids. If you just, and I hate to say shut your brain off because that's such a cop out these days, especially from Star Wars. I want something. Star Wars can
So
be simple, but it also can be fun as well.
well,
So it
so
did not work for
here's
me, unfortunately.
I don't necessarily. I'm not going to disagree with anything that you've shared, and your feelings are valid, and so is everybody else's. For my thing, I feel like this movie was. I think it told you, the audience, early on, we're not going deep on this. We're just going to have some fun. We had car chases, we had sword fights, we had gun battles, we had running fights, we had Mando kicking all sorts of ass with big monsters, small monsters, legions of stormtroopers. Like, it's just as soon as I felt like I got the cue sometime in the first 20 minutes where I'm like, oh, no, 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 we're not going deep. There was 100 moments where I'm like, oh, Grogu or Mando could have done X instead of Y, and that would have made that whole situation a hell of a lot easier. That's everywhere. I counted at least 3 of them just in one viewing of like, oh, they could have done this instead of that. And uh but like, yeah, no, we're just here for the good time.
It just felt like Favreau and
And
Filoni were taking their action figures and going pew 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 pew
I
pew
mean,
pew
kind of,
pew
yeah.
pew. Okay, I'm bored.
But
I'm
how
done.
fun is that on the big screen? It was so fun.
If it was like shorter and it was
It needed to be shorter.
and you didn't have I don't if it was on Disney Plus, this would be fine. I'd be like whatever.
Yeah.
But a big screen movie and you're bringing audiences back to the theaters and you're following up 3 seasons, so you have stuff
Hmm.
laid out. This was an opportunity. I thought it was a wasted opportunity where they could have been like, okay, we're gonna do something really incredible with that character and show him either evolve or change the stakes or something. But they didn't want to alienate any of the audience. They wanted everyone to come in just because. And that's the problem with Disney Plus.
Yeah.
That kind of ties into our theme of the Marvel stuff because
Kind of. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
I think Marvel has more runway. Star Wars, it could do it, but they're not setting themselves up that way. So I don't know.
Yeah.
It's a good kids movie. I'm glad you enjoyed it. Like there was some moments I had fun with. Like
I
there's one bit in it I absolutely like. It saved it from being an absolute disaster. It's a simple, stupid moment. It's when he's going for the I don't know any of the names. The coin, I think the bad guy's coin, and
Yeah.
they have
Yeah.
this little shootout in his office, and there's a bird squawking, and I
Yeah.
was like, if that bird doesn't get blown to bits, and just boom, I cackled. I was like, this is the '80s humor of
It's
arcades movies.
absolute popcorn.
Yeah, I was like, I was like, okay, I will stay for the next hour. I was like, but
Yeah.
it was just indulgent. It was kind of a nothing burger, and a
Absolutely.
burger, but a nothing burger is still a burger nonetheless. And
Sure.
um, but just,
Yeah.
they
I
either way
a
they need
lot
to
of
step their game up. Star Wars, this is not a good representation of what I don't want. Just fluff all the time.
well, I don't disagree with you in the grand scheme of things,
You
and so
can disagree with
there's
me,
an
Zach.
no, no, no.
Disagreeing is
Well,
good.
there's an argument to be made, like where if this is indicative of the ultimate direction of Disney Star Wars, then
I
I
don't
have
think
a
so. I don't.
problem with
Yeah,
it.
I don't think so.
But if
And it certainly
this
can't
is
be.
one movie just
Yeah.
to kind of cap off Mando, maybe we get another season, maybe we get another movie. But like another thing, this was everyone. I've had many conversations regarding Star Wars where like Star Wars is a galaxy wide, big enough thing. Why are we always following the Jedi? Why are we always following the Skywalkers or the
Hmm.
Palpatines? Why are we always around this set of small families when there's an entire galaxy worth of stories out there that that could be told? And I think this was an entry into
I disagree with that.
lots of other stories that could be told.
This was exactly what you described. They literally regurgitated the 3 seasons in some capacity. Mando mysteriously comes in shadows, shoots up the place, looking cool. They did that. They literally did that in Book of Boba Fett. They stopped
Mhm.
Book of Boba Fett to do a cool Mando episode,
Which
which
was
was
the worst decision
exactly
for the Book of Boba Fett.
yeah,
Great
exactly.
decision for a Mando
And they
deal.
never justified it. They're just like, oh, we're just
No.
gonna bonus episode, mystery bonus episode here. but it was an excellent episode, so I give it a
It
pass.
was.
But they did that scene in that, and they did it again in this a little bit more on a bigger scale. They played the hits, and it wasn't even like the greatest
Yeah.
hits. And I think they played it so safe, and there's like no story. And you have three writers on this: Favreau, who we talked about last week, or the Filoni, who is literally like the new Lucas. And you
Hmm.
give me just a hollow, just and from your point of view, I do appreciate your point of view on it because it is when you describe it, it sounds awesome. They're fighting monsters in pits. There's a gladiator battle. It's like, but
Hmm.
it literally is
You
just
so
toys doing this for an hour, 2 hours. And if you're
the
about
moment
that,
that
you're gonna
like
love it.
there's one moment that like for me when I saw this, I'm like, okay, you're either at this point in this very moment of the movie, you're either in or you're out, and this is the movie saying this is what we're going to be about, and you're either down or you're not. And that is the shot where you see Rada the Hutt in the fucking gladiator spot for the very first time. And it just pans up, and you're like, oh man, this Hutt is in the gladiator. How's he going to fight? Because every Hutt we've ever seen is slow and terrible. And he just like, with this big, like, chest. And obviously he's worked out and he's just a damn monster. And like, okay, if you are down with that, you're gonna have a good time at
No,
this
I'm
movie.
I'm
If
cool.
that was too
I'm
much,
cool. No, I'm cool with that kind of stuff. Like I like fresh takes on it. I like exploring characters that like I'm about that. But you got to give me some meat on the bone. And if you're not gonna give me a meat in the bone with other characters, that's totally fine too. But like Mandalorian and Grogu, they needed to change. They needed something. At the end of that movie, they go, "Oh, you're a bounty hunter still? Oh, maybe." They allude that he might be a New Republic guy, and he's even like, maybe." They didn't even commit to that idea. I could have
no.
been fine
They
with that idea.
committed to
I could have been
nothing
fine
but
with
good
him. Yeah,
time.
I could have been fine with him being like, you know what? Maybe I'm gonna hang out with you guys and fight the good fight. If that's a choice, that's growth. This one, he's like, nah, and the whole the other eye rolly thing about it. I could pick this movie apart, but I don't want to.
Yeah.
The Huts are like, whoa, Mandalorian armor. That's valuable. It's amazing. It's so expensive. I love it. They throw Pedro Pascal's there for 3 days on set. They put him in a scene. We gotta get him out of there. So he's like, all right, here's your helmet back. It's like, what, like it was no more evident that they're just trying to cover up all their little like they shoestringed it together. That's like those moments.
All right, I hear you.
But I will give them credit. I'm gonna give them credit for one thing that I really
Mm,
appreciate, and I think it's a good sign. In the credits, they give Pedro Pascal a lead. Then they give two other gentlemen credit, and that's the stunt performer and I believe like the stand-in. So they're acknowledging that Pedro Pascal is basically a voice actor at this point. Yeah, and that's totally
yeah.
fine. Like Rocket Raccoon is voiced by Bradley Cooper, and we don't argue about that.
Hmm.
But the fact that Pedro Pascal is getting all this credit, and it's meanwhile it's the stunt performer and the stand-in that are there every single day. I
Yeah.
love that they gave him like top of the line credit. That's respect, and I think
I
I tip
do
my hat
agree.
to Favs and Filoni and all that. Overall, you summed it up. You either gonna vibe with it and just go, okay, it's a summer movie, cheeseburger, in and out.
Yeah.
I will forget it by the time I walk to the parking lot.
Yeah.
Or you're a real Star Wars fan, and, and you want more, and I think it gives me concern about the future of Star Wars in terms of like what is the direction of it. And I think there was an article that came out talking about the whole thing where Lucasfilm is because Kathleen Kennedy's out and there's Filoni's kind of taking over, and
Hmm.
one of the Disney executives who were secretly the evil villains of both Marvel and Star Wars, and I'm
Oh yeah.
convinced. One guy goes, "Is that the Andor guy or the Mandalorian guy?" And that is the vibe in that boardroom. Is like, is it going to be the arty good storyteller? And not to say Filoni isn't. Filoni's capable of it.
Oh yeah.
Um,
He is.
I'm just worried that Filoni's going to make this into Star Trek, and it's going to become niche and not going to be the broader, epic 4 quadrant big opening weekend thing that Star Wars was. It's going to become like you're going to become Trekkies, basically. We'll see. But this was not a slam dunk. This was
No. No. I. Yeah.
and
I
to
hear you.
and we'll wrap this up. Add insult to injury. I for the first time when I went to the movies, I ordered an icy because I was like, I didn't want to. Yeah, I went outside my comfort zone a little bit. I usually get popcorn and a seltzer.
Did you bring in the mini vodka bottle?
No, I didn't do that. I'm not degenerate like you are. Okay, maybe, but maybe next time it might work.
That's why I enjoyed the
It was
movie.
the most disappointing. It was the most disappointing icy I've had in my life. So I'm watching this movie. I'm being disappointed in IMAX,
What you do?
and
What's
my
wrong with
drink.
your icy?
What? It was
I'm
so I got
sorry.
a small because I didn't want all that sugar. So I felt like I took 3 sips and it was gone. It was like just like nothing. It was a metaphor for the movie. It was sugar This is like a pound of sugar. I was excited about it. I took 2 sips. I was like, this is nothing. So,
I
uh,
too had an icy. Mine had vodka in
yeah,
it.
that might be the trick. That
It
might
might be. It
that might
might
be.
be.
That explains your, "Oh, I love this movie. It's really good."
Oh yeah, I
It
enjoyed
was
it.
the Tito's that made you like it. But
It's
yeah,
strongly possible.
not the worst Star Wars.
I mean, let's be honest. I'm pretty infamous in our friend groups for I in movies that are, we'll say, a 7 or less out of 10
Yeah,
that we
you're
go and
very
see.
forgiving, and
I
I
try.
yeah.
I spent the time. I First off, I just love being in the movies, and I love being in the movies with people. With people, like I don't
You
want to be the only one in the theater. I want to be with the crowd. It happened to be like just the timing
you wanna be
for
where the
when I was
people
able to
are?
go this
I
weekend.
wanna be where the
I do.
people are,
Well,
drinking
so I
mediocre
saw
ices and watching Star
Mando.
Wars.
Hey, shut your mouth. Uh, I
Episode
saw
2
Mando at a
unraveling on your
matinee. There
throats.
was kids in there. There was like moms who clearly hadn't seen
Yes.
Star Wars in a minute, and like everyone was chuckling, everyone was laughing, like it was a lot of good fun vibes.
You wanna know what happened
But
when the credits rolled at my theater? From the back, someone goes,
yeah.
"Womp womp."
Oh.
And I was like, "I'm glad I'm not the only one." Womp
I get it.
womp.
I get it.
So we had 2 vastly different experiences watching this movie.
Well, once you
But
once I
it's a
recognize
fun
a
time.
movie is not this is not going to change Star Wars. This is not going to like change my life. This
Yeah,
As soon as I recognize that when I'm in the movie theaters, I'm booked for the next 2.5 hours.
yeah.
I'm just like at that point, all right, the movie's trying to just have a good time. Let's just try to have a good
Yeah,
time with
exactly,
it
yeah.
instead of fighting at every single scene and cut and edit
Yeah,
and
I'm not
everything else.
I don't
And
wanna
no
be
disrespect to those that are you. Everyone has a right to crave more and want more, but if it ain't giving it to you, I'm trying not to just be an angry son of a bitch sitting there
Oh,
watching it
yeah,
the whole
I
time.
don't lose sleep over this. I just, like but I call it how I
That's
see
not
it.
true. I know you lose sleep over
I
it. Don't
don't
lie to me.
not Star Wars. I give up on that. Rise of Skywalker broke my soul, so I'm just dead
I
inside since
mean,
then.
that we'll get
I
there
would
one
love to
day,
do just
and
one
I'm
episode
not.
on that and, like, have a few cocktails and just air our grievances.
Dude, I
It
have literally not seen that
just
movie
because the
since
internet
the
doesn't
theater
have enough
release.
of people bitching about Star Wars.
I mean, well, we'll save the rest for this, but I'll button my end of this with the reason Rise of Skywalker exists and why it's such shit is because everyone shit on the Last Jedi far too
Yeah,
much.
I'm a Last Jedi fanboy, and I when I walked out of that theater the first time, I was like, I don't know if I love this movie or hate it. And then as I watched it,
I
I'm like, "Ah,
I was
genius."
so excited for Star Wars to take a left turn, just a
Yeah,
hard
it
90
subverts
degree.
every
And
expectation
like
and all
hell,
the
like I mean, listen, good, bad, or ugly, we're getting something different.
yeah,
Let's explore more and see what we got.
yeah.
And everyone revolted up against something different, and we get Rise of
It just
Skywalker.
came down to, like, we got our toys back in Force Awakens, and we got Han Solo, we got all Luke Skywalker, we have all and then Ryan Johnson comes along and goes, "Okay, that was great. You had fun with Force Awakens. I
Yeah,
had a ton of fun too, but we need
absolutely.
to mature the
Let's
series,
do
and we need to
something
keep it going
cool.
because we can't do the same trilogy again. We can't do the same thing.
Mm.
We have to evolve and figure it out." And he did. He pulled the pin on the
Yes, he
grenade,
did.
and
Yup.
then they had no clue what to do with the aftermath, and then they just was like, everyone's freaking out. They're all mad about it. Let's now give them,
Yeah.
like,
I
everything
mean,
they
they spent
want
the
all at
first
once, and none of it
we're doing
matters.
our Rise of Skywalker episode now. They spent the first half of the damn movie retconning Last Jedi.
Yeah, like, they
They didn't even
apologized.
tell anything
Yeah.
new. They just retconned the hell out of Last Jedi.
We're not getting down the
Ugh.
Star Wars road because we have to pivot to Marvel stuff.
All right,
But
we can do that.
yes, if you and
Well,
if
speaking
anyone's
of
watching this shit, if
nothing
anyone's out there
burgers,
watching this and you love our how he I'm sweating already. How heated we got over Star Wars. Let us know if you want us to tackle that. We will. We will.
yeah.
We're gonna do it
Oh,
anyway.
we'll get there.
We're gonna get there.
Probably.
We're gonna get there, and it's gonna be fun.
So, speaking of
Anything else you
nothing
watch? Anything
burgers,
else you watch? We have a few more minutes before we have to pivot. So
what else I mean, we finished The Boys.
me too. Yeah. Yay or nay?
So
It was
for the whole
fine.
series, I say yay. For the last season, eh.
Yeah, I thought it could have just been one episode and wrapped it up. Like they spun their wheels a little bit, but
Yeah.
I liked the outcome. I liked where everyone landed, and I'm
Sure.
good. I'm good. I can move on now. I'm like, all right.
I mean, so
I keep
there was a
saying stuff.
couple, like, I mean, if you want to get nitpicky, like, why the F is Starlight saying, okay, I'll handle the deep. You guys fight the big guy, even though I'm the most powerful damn hero on the side of the boys. you guys just you handle the Superman, the evil Superman. I'm gonna go, punch Aquaman in the face. And
They did it
like,
because of like the first season where she was attacked by
yeah,
him. Like it was
I
to
know
give her
why.
character
That
closure. I
doesn't.
know why.
Who
Yeah,
cares?
yeah.
That's a dumb choice. It's a dumb choice.
The show
Make
peaked.
Huey go take him out.
The show peaked when it was the fight between Butcher, Soldier Boy, and Homelander,
That was
and
great.
that was the finale scene that I think everyone was kind of expecting with this. I don't know. I like the bad guy got his comeuppance.
Sure.
And at the I mean, it's I'm not going to go too deep with the boys because I don't think it's meant to be that way.
It's
Especially
no,
the
no, no,
last
no.
few
Of
seasons,
course
they
not.
kind of just were like, we need stuff. Like it's one of those cases. But
Yeah.
like I didn't feel like disappointed. I was like, all right, cool. That cross
Sure.
those eyes, cut those teeth. I can move
Basically.
on. I liked how Homelander went out. But
Well,
screw him. Like
sure. Oh,
yeah.
dude. I mean, the way he went out was sick as hell.
Yeah, I
That
don't, and I'm
was.
not from the camp of we need this epic battle. Like, I don't think
Mm,
the boys was always. I don't think that's the vibe. The boys is always great when it was skewing superhero mythology and expectations. So like, and them to pivot to like just a brawl in the White House and wrap it up there. Sure,
yeah. Why not?
sold. Why not? And then at the end of the day, it was always the story of Huey versus Butcher on some level. Like both of them have
Yeah.
experienced tremendous loss.
That
Both of them
was that
handle
was
it.
a really good button.
Yeah, and like both of them they're mirrors of each other. One is, you know, he's experienced almost the same tragedy and tragic stuff happen to him, and he still has hope in humanity. The other one is too far gone, and when he tries to, he just realizes he's like, I'm just an evil guy. And then goes to take out all the soups. I think he should have, but Huey's like, no, we're not that. And I'm like, well, I guess the next Homelander is coming down the pike, so it's fine. It's fine.
Sure.
Yeah, a good
Yeah.
next
I
moving on.
enjoyed it for what it is.
Yeah,
The problem with shows like, and I mean, we've all like, the first one that comes to mind is Borat, and I recognize that sounds left field, but roll with me.
we could not
The
guess that
whole
was gonna be the next thing I
the
did.
whole Borat idea is shock factor. We get this guy in a situation, he's acting like this, and he gets people to say shocking things that result in the last 20 years of politics. Really, it was just hiding there the whole time. He was trying to show it to us. But he like Borat, the whole idea of Borat is shock factor, and like all of the other Sacha Baron Cohen characters that came out around the time. I forget the guy who was like the runway model fashion designer.
Bruno,
He
was
was
it
also
Bruno?
Bruno. Yeah,
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
there was also Ali G, and like we were into it at the time, and I enjoyed it very much. But the whole idea is shock factory. As soon as the shock factor wears off, there's just not a lot to grasp, and I feel
Yeah.
like he pivoted away from that in a good amount of time. The Boys opens up with a train plowing through Huey's girlfriend just because she's in the street when he's running, and like now she's in a million pieces. So bam, shock factor. Bam, sex, hero gasm. A guy with a tentacle cock who has, ridiculous, he can control it and it's like 20 feet long. And like, it's all about shock factor. But the problem with, if shock factor is the only thing that like keeps people coming back, sooner or later they just get
You get numb,
desensitized.
yeah, you get numb to it.
Like
It's like,
like you
alright.
just can't,
It's
you
the it's
can't go
the
forever.
it's the dinosaurs in Jurassic Park. You're just like, alright, at some point you just they're like
Yeah.
just do animals. Like, alright, okay. It was
Yeah.
cool when I saw it the first time, so
Sure.
it did run its course a little bit, and I'm happy they just ended it, and they ended
Hmm.
it on a decent enough note that we can move on with our lives. And
Yep.
but
Great.
yeah, yeah. So that was it. And
High
then
fives.
yeah,
And
and
now we all get to pivot to watch Invincible instead.
oh, yeah, I watched the first few episodes of that, and I have to follow up on it.
You
It's
really do.
yeah, I'll get to
It
it.
to me, like it tells. I mean, as far as like human like superheroes, if that makes sense, like superheroes with real human vices and lack of discipline and this type of thing. Like I think it tells that version of the story stronger
Okay.
than I enjoy The Boys. I think Invincible tells that version of that story in a more
Well, the animation they can
yeah.
go there. They can
Oh
go
yeah. And
yeah.
they also like, I mean, they do a lot more non-Earth or and parallels. I mean, they do every damn superhero, mechanic that you can think of,
Okay.
which would be a hell of a lot hard to pull off with The Boys.
Very cool.
So,
Cool.
yeah,
Alright.
recommend it.
So on that note,
So,
oh, let's see, we're locked in now.
You
All
want to
right.
get into the nothing burger that is CGI Eric
I keep saying
Bana's
that, and I
Hulk
can't.
face?
I'm overusing it, but
You really are. Yeah, you need
yeah.
to
All
stop
right.
it.
So let's pivot now. So
Yeah,
that's what we watched. That's what we're doing all week.
that's
Now we're
right.
gonna get into why you showed up. We're gonna tackle the second movie in the MCU, The Incredible Hulk, and talk fairly all Hulk things. So I love that when we did our Iron Man talk, which you can go watch before
Hmm.
this. We mentioned that we were going to do Hulk next, obviously, and we mentioned that you hadn't seen Ang Lee's Hulk, the
I
2003 one.
have not.
I
I
seen
have
it.
now.
Yeah, I seen it in 2003, but I didn't see it in theaters. I saw it on a leaked DVD work print. Someone leaked the movie, but and I was like, all right, and I heard bad things
God, I
about it.
miss Napster.
Yeah, it was. And I didn't even go down. I didn't even download it. I got it from a guy in the street. That's how old I am. They were selling
It's
live hard copies.
amazing.
It was awesome.
It's
What a time to be
amazing.
alive.
What a time.
I've since then bought many physical, legitimate DVDs. I've made up for my illegal activity. Please don't come after me, Ang Lee.
There you go.
But I watched it then, so it was not a great representation of the movie per se. I eventually did watch it like when it came on proper DVD, and I watched the clips and stuff. So, but I haven't sat down 20 something years later to watch it again after living through the what some say the golden age of superhero movies. So I'm actually curious to see what your first take was. And I'll tell
So,
actually I
the,
should fucking go first because you went first for
oh, go ahead.
Grogu. Okay?
Go
Go
ahead.
ahead. I'm swinging it around now.
I'm here for you.
Um okay, so yeah, so my I when I went to watch this again, I wanted to see if it was a misunderstood masterpiece because maybe I missed something. And
Yeah.
it's a frustrating move because it's a movie, and I'm a big advocate of filmmakers
Is
getting
it a movie though?
we'll we'll get there, but basically they gave Ang Lee the keys to the car because he just won the Oscar for Crouching Tiger. It's like, and it's coming off of like Spider-Man, Sam Raimi's Spider-Man,
Hmm.
which is the movie I wanted. When they announced Hulk, I remember seeing the trailer for Hulk when I saw Spider-Man. I'm like, oh my god, we're living it up. And I'm a proponent of filmmakers getting their vision and like being in control of things. And this is a case against that. This is a
Yes.
resounding case of like we unleash the demon. We have to rein him in. I will say this. I do think the cleverness of how it's stylized, like it's a comic book. Sorry, I bumped into the mic.
Yeah.
The comic book, there's cool transitions.
There.
Literally Ang Lee's like, I'm going to make a comic book movie. Now, the problem with the Hulk is that it's so goddamn boring that it's all sizzle, no steak. I
Mhm.
watched this over the course of 2 nights because I kept falling asleep. I was like, and I remember pausing it at like I was like, oh man, I must be halfway through this thing. It was like 20 something minutes. I'm like, there's an hour and a half left. I was like, this is
Dude,
terrible.
and it was so long.
And it's like competently made, and for all intents and purposes, it does deal with the Hulk at its core level of a man dealing with anger issues, becoming this Jekyll and Hyde monster kind of thing. That's the traditional way. I didn't want that movie. I wanted Spider-Man, which Incredible Hulk kind of answers that question. And they're like, we're going to give you a movie that's sort of in the vein of the TV show, The Incredible Hulk, which I grew up on too,
Mhm.
and the traditional way of doing a superhero. So I did like The Incredible Hulk a lot more, but the Ang Lee version, holy cow, that was just it's amazing because the Hulk looks cool and the visual effects are decent, but the story is everyone talks like this. Nick Nolte, for fuck's sake, he is the Hulk. Like he's
Oh
just like
my god.
I'm a Hulk now, and it's just like come on, everyone is whispering. Just a bore of a movie, all sizzle, no steak. So Zach, what was your first impression of it? And it didn't get better. I think I enjoyed
It
the
did
work print.
not.
The work print was better.
Mhm.
With
So,
unfinished
like,
scenes.
I'd never seen to small I'd never seen this movie before. I had heard that it was the lesser of the 2 Hulk movies from the mid 2000s. early mid 2000s. So I heard that, but I actually didn't see either one of them in theaters at all. Like I just watched the Ed Norton version just a couple weeks ago before we started this podcast, and I just rewatched it again recently. I'd never seen the Banner version at all, so I went into both of these reasonably blind. And oh my God, I'm so happy that just circumstance let me watch the Ed Norton one first so that I knew that it's not all like this. Because the Ang Lee, man, I have such appreciation. You say Raimi, it's exactly the fun. And so literally my first note on here is fun, cheesy openings titles. Reminded me exactly of Sam Raimi's opening titles. They're kind of bouncing around. Comic Sans is the font that's being used
Which one
for
are you
the
talking about?
title
Incredible Hulk
cards.
or Hulk?
Hulk, Banner Hulk.
Okay.
Eric Bana, Ang Lee,
Yeah,
Hulk.
yeah, yeah.
Uh, very, very big, like Raimi Spider-Man similarities, and I'm down. Like, okay, I'm kind of, like I'm vibing with it. We're zooming into the DNA and we're getting all into the molecules and stuff. And like that reminded me very much of the opening sequence of Spider-Man 1 Raimi. That Danny Elfman music was awesome. Like I felt like I honestly if there is a winning formula for this movie, I think the reason why, if there was any amount of that held my interest, it was the score that just like it just kept sweeping, and it just like swept into with the weird transitions that they did in editing. It just swept into the next scene, and I felt like the music was the through line that actually, if there's anything that holds the movie together, I think the score is what holds the movie together. Because it was like it was as if did Elfman do the music for Raimi Spider-Man?
I
Actually, I
think yeah,
don't
he
even
did.
know.
Yeah, he
Did
did.
he?
Yeah.
Well, then
I
there
think
you go.
Elfman. I got to look this up. But I remember. I think he was a replacement for the Hulk. Like I think there was another composer, and I think the last minute they
Mm,
needed it. Like, obviously the studio was crapping themselves watching this because it's like this is an art movie. This is they let Ang Lee just become a complete pretentious asshole
yeah.
on this one. So I think they were trying to like let's make this as Spider-Man friendly as possible, I guess. But yeah, the music when someone says, "Oh, the music's great," it's the universal quote of like the movie's absolutely terrible, but the music's good. Like it's
It,
when people go, "What
I
do you think of the
literally
movie?"
because
Music's good. That means
I was
it's
trying to be
not. It
critical.
doesn't
I'm
have
like,
anything.
like I didn't want to just like, me, I enjoy enjoying things, but I
But when
I
it's
was
bad, you have to
really
call it how you see it. You have to call
bro,
it how you
this
see
was
it.
bad, man.
Yeah,
It was so bad.
it's
But I
not a
was also
misunderstood
like,
masterpiece.
I did recognize the sweep that it was keeping me engaged. I didn't always like what I was engaging with, but it was keeping me engaged for that first half of the movie. And I think the music is the entire reason why I was even that engaged,
Yeah,
was because like as they swept to a new transition to a new scene, the music just I don't know, man. I don't know how I'm not a music like I
the
play
style
music,
was
but I'm not
yeah.
a composer. But man, that was it kept me. It was the only thing that was like keeping me going. That, and did you notice you want to go like art house craziness? Did you notice that Jen Connolly and Eric Bana, when in those scenes where they were together, especially early on, they're both wearing different shades of green?
Yeah, well, the green is like throughout the whole movie. It's like it's
I know,
green and purple. Like they're like this
but
is
when Jen Connolly is then later in a different scene with Josh Lucas, who, can you imagine? He played a douchebag in a suit. Isn't that crazy that Josh
yeah,
Lucas plays
a
a douchebag in a
real
suit?
stretch. Yeah,
Real stretch,
but he played
crazy
it good.
casting choice.
I
Oh, of
remember
course he did. No,
I
he's always good at it.
things I remember from the movie was like his death because they did this stupid like Mary Tyler Moore freeze frame and they spin him out, and I'm like, that is the goofiest death in history. But it
Mm.
stayed with me.
But her same shirt, because she's wearing the same shirt.
Yeah,
I'm pretty sure I'm not making this up. She's wearing the same shirt, but the lighting takes away her green. That same shirt is not green when she's in the room with Josh Lucas. It is green when she's in the room with Eric Bana.
that's direction, I guess. I don't know, man.
Listen. That's the type of thing where I'm like, I feel like they're like, this is the subtext that we're putting in there, and I'm a sucker for that crap. I love it,
Yeah.
but you got to have more than just that holding your thing
Yeah.
together, man.
So I don't want to keep dwelling on the whole because it's not an MCU movie, but
Sure.
we want to set the table of what the lasting impression was of Hulk before Incredible Hulk comes
Yeah,
and
man.
And like, and it's I
They
thought
were
about this.
fighting an uphill battle with the Norton movie with this.
In a way, I don't think so because I think the recipe was there, and it's basically the TV show, the old TV show from the 70s. It's Hulk is a nomad that has his thing and he's trying to control it and he's going from like one adventure to another, and they do use that in the Incredible Hulk as sort of a framework. So it
Mhm.
was always, and I think that was the movie we all wanted. Like we all, well, you don't make me angry. You wouldn't like me when I'm angry. That whole the whole
Or
build
hungry.
or hungry, yeah, that's even worse.
That was such a
So
good line.
I think fans were like, "That's the Hulk we want." And so the Ang Lee one comes out, it opens big, and then has a massive drop the next weekend. Tanks, effectively like just sort of putting the Hulk on ice. And now the Hulk is a universal property, so this is the first
Okay.
time the MCU is kind of like, can we borrow the Hulk for our
Okay.
little cinematic universe?" Um, I had a good thought and I completely lost it now. Um, so the whole yeah, so I don't think they had a big uphill battle because it's kind of there, and if they went back to the roots of the TV show, it works itself out. And I love how the Incredible Hulk, it opens up with just like, here's the credits, here's how he becomes the Hulk. We all kind of know gamma rays, blah blah blah. Let's go off to the
Well,
races now.
the uphill battle I think they were fighting too is right around that time when Incredible Hulk comes out with Ed Norton. I don't remember if Amazing Spider-Man had come out. So they had just reboot Batman for Dark Knight and Batman Begins. I think they were about to, I feel like there were talks at least about updating Amazing Spider-Man, because Spider-Man 3 came out the same year as Iron Man. So '06,
So
I think,
I
if I'm
think
not
Dark Knight
wrong.
Rises, that was Amazing Spider-Man. So I think that
So Dark Knight
was
was '08. Spider-Man 3 was 2007, so it was the year after. Okay, maybe I'm full of crap.
but it was in that
But
transitional like period when like I think McGuire was done. I
mhm,
don't know if they had a no, they definitely had. They were about to reboot Spider-Man, I guess,
yeah.
because
So, like, we're
I think
talking
they were
about
doing that
Spider-Man
because they
reboots.
saw that
Batman just gets
yeah,
rebooted. Now
because
we're
Iron
about
Man
to
was a big
reboot the
huge
Hulk. So it was
yeah,
like, ugh,
Iron Man
stop
was a
rebooting
hit,
things.
Dark Knight was a hit, so they're like, we're gonna keep
Yeah.
going. Yeah, so like it was and it's I was thinking about this. This is my thought. I remember now. This is the first time. I mean, it's the second movie, but it's the first time they did a they took on a character that was already made. Like Iron Man was not in any other
Oh,
movie.
yeah.
So
Yeah,
now
yeah.
they're like, okay, how's MCU gonna MCUfy the Hulk? How are they gonna like make it fit into their mold? And that's where we get the kind of they just took the TV show, they took elements from the comics and they put it together. And I thought it worked really well. And I
I
saw this in
agree.
theaters. I saw it, I think maybe a couple weeks after because it wasn't like demand. Like it was like, I'll see it. And I feel the same way I did about it when I first saw it. Like it didn't change, it didn't get better, and I liked it. Like it was
Mhm.
enjoyable. It checked all the boxes. It's interesting to watch it now because you like Ed Norton and like
Yeah.
because they kept bits and pieces of it for the series. Like they kept Thunderbolts, the same actor. And they didn't obviously Ed Norton didn't stay because he was clashing behind the scenes with the filmmakers because
Yeah.
whenever he does a
Well, and
movie, he
they
likes
kept Tim Roth for Liv Tyler came back for
yeah, they
Brave
kept
New
everyone
World,
except
and
Norton. So it's
yeah,
interesting how they
basically.
like made Ruffalo's character adapt that, changed it a little bit, or transitioned them out from being like on the road to be part of the Avengers. So, and I don't know if Edward Norton's a great actor. I like him in pretty much
Of
everything he's
course.
done. I don't know how he would hold up next to Downey or Chris Evans. I don't know how you would be an Avenger. I think he would be
I
he's too cool to be like
I was
Ruffalo.
thinking on the
Ruffalo is
because I
like
know. Do you know why and I'm this is a genuine question, I don't know the trivia. Do you know why that agreement didn't work out between Norton and Marvel?
I from what
Was it a money? I heard it was like a
no,
creative thing.
it was absolutely great. Norton has a tendency to write his own like he wants to be part of the creative process. So he was like
Yeah, yeah.
doing rewrites and like just challenging everything. He was also a huge Hulk fan, so he's like, I'm very protective of the character. But he definitely has a control thing. He wants to control every aspect of it. Where the Marvel model, and I don't know if it was enact like kind of really then,
Yeah,
they're like, you're gonna hit your mark. We're gonna do what we want to do. You're playing in our field, kind of thing. And
yeah,
Ed Norton is not that kind of guy. And to know that he's gonna be locked into like 7 pictures or whatever, I don't think it was a mutual breakup. Let's put it that way.
yeah.
But
Makes
I
sense.
thought it was an excellent. You know, he was just frail enough to be Bruce Banner. Um,
Yeah.
the Hulk
He
design was interesting too. Like it reminded me of Attack on Titan. I don't know if that was even like just the angry anime face. Like it. It's got the snarls, the
Sure,
long nose. It's like more of a demon than like certainly not as big
sure,
as Ang Lee's Hulk, which was ha- oh, we invented pants that will stretch 18 feet. Like
sure.
I will suspend my disbelief. But when you're just insulting me now, I
Yeah,
don't know. But yeah, I don't know. I thought he was good. I thought
yeah,
they balanced the humor pretty well. There's a lot of cool little jokes. Like I love the bit where Liv Tyler's like get out of a cab and she's got anger issues, and
yeah.
that was pretty
It's like
funny.
I know some exercises to help you with
Yeah,
that.
it's like, do you really want to be in a tube in the busiest
There was a
city, the
lot.
angriest city in the world? No, it's like there was
Well,
cool.
so there's let me kind of give you the lead up as far as like the makers of this, because I was actually a little shocked with how much I enjoyed this movie versus the movies that the folks were involved in ahead of time. Bless you. So the writer is Zach Penn, um, which the first movie he's credited as a writer in, at least according to IMDb, is The Last Action Hero.
I love that. I could do a podcast on Last Action Hero. That is
I'm sure we will. But
that is a
he also
misunderstood
did Matthew
masterpiece.
Broderick's Inspector Gadget,
No,
Behind
that's the
Enemy
worst.
Lines, and then he actually wrote X-Men 2 and 3, the Fox X-Men's 2 and 3,
Well, those
or
movies
at
are
least he was involved with the story.
yeah, those
Then
movies have
he
like
did
14 writers. You can't give one guy credit.
okay, fair enough.
He did the Avengers, right?
He also did, he was second billing on he did story for the Avengers, Joss Whedon did the screenplay,
Yeah,
but he
Zach Penn
also
has
did
come out and said
Elektra
that.
and Fantastic Four.
So he's like a Fox
He's
guy.
n Yeah, but he's like, these are not I obviously, the X-Men did well. I never saw Behind Enemy Lines, but I feel like I remember hearing good things. Inspector Gadget was absolute, like I feel like Inspector Gadget, Elektra, and Fantastic Four all fall in this, like, weird like trying to pay homage but not really doing it very
Yeah,
successfully type of thing.
yeah,
And so I'm impressed with how kind of sacred it held to like the Hulk story. And what I really appreciate about this movie is we basically have four damn characters and that's it. And all four of them have been established and are active in the story by minute number 45. We finally catch up to Betty at minute 45. The title card gives us everything that we need on how Hulk gets created, why Thunderbolt is so scared of him. There's that one shot. It's only like a couple seconds, if that, where like it's the title card where Hulk is like over and it looks like he's going to kill Betty, and then Thunderbolt's like there trying to protect his daughter with a look of fear in his face. That's why he's afraid. And then like, man, what the connection there again, just a small tiny little 2-second shot where he's Bruce is about to go undergo the experiment and he just gives a wink to Betty through the glass. He's like, it's gonna be okay. And like everything that we need to know about these three characters, not excluding Tim Roth's character for a moment, everything we need to know about these three, you have from the title card. We're good. Now he's on the run. All that's
yeah.
established. Boom.
It's like the
Let's get in.
it's like the missing movie in between. They're like, here you go. This is what you need
Yeah.
to know about the Hulk. Boom.
Done.
And I think that's a lesson. Like if you're
It's
a comic,
almost it's almost Spider-Man 2. Spider-Man 2 used its title sequence to tell the story of Spider-Man 1. If you
yeah,
didn't see it,
yeah,
congratulations. Here's everything that happened.
yeah.
Now here we
I mean,
are.
a lot
And it
of
was
superhero
great.
movies, yeah, a lot of superhero movies do that just to get everyone caught. Like, I mean, Batman
It's
versus
awesome.
Superman. You're like, hey, you remember Batman's parents? Well, we're just gonna tell the story again because in case you forgot. So like, it's a good way to like sort of set the table, especially like we're gonna palate cleanse Ang Lee stuff. We're not acknowledging that this is a whole new ball game here. Boom,
Yeah.
now you're into it, and then you can do interesting things with him. It was cool to see him in Brazil. You could see him like be on the run. I think the whole that's part of the TV show. Like he's a fugitive and he's on the run, and he's the Hulk is this kind of like savior to certain things. Very Mando esque. If we go back to the beginning of our conversation, he like pops in, does his thing, and then moves on. And but it was really good. It's down the middle. Like there was nothing
It was.
egregiously wrong. It scratched the itch. The Hulk stuff was really
Mhm.
cool. I you know the
I love
it
to
just
there. So in the first like kind of main sequence, like call it Act One, give or take. Um, they're chasing Banner through Brazil, and then they catch him in the factory, the soda pop factory where he's working, and now that's all dark shadows. The transition from the chase sequence, like, and I think where'd I say it? It did such a good job of establishing Banner as like this. charming. He's charming to the locals. He's clever because he's like trying to escape the military. Obviously, he's very clever. He is physically capable, but just not at a high level. Like he's not super strong, but he's not going to break apart just because someone hit him in the face. And he's what I thought the most interesting part about that whole chase sequence that I thought was just a really cool grounding for where we're going with this character is the heart monitor.
Yeah.
Like him doing all of this, being clever, being charming, keeping the locals cool, avoiding the military, getting the shit beat out of him, and also still escaping. All of these things while also keeping his heart rate below a certain level. That's I think such a really, really cool dynamic. And then as soon as the heart rate goes over, the entire perspective of the movie shifts from chasing a mouse to avoiding this shadow monster, because we really don't get a full shot of Hulk until the college later on. And so now it's he's the shadow monster that's just destroying everything and throwing things. And like afterwards I was thinking on that sequence, I'm like, was this kind of shot from the perspective of Thunderbolt Ross? Like, was it he's chasing his mouse and he's just like trying to catch the mouse, and then all of a sudden now he's afraid of the monster that it's become? And maybe I'm overthinking it, and I probably am based on who was working on this movie. They don't write deep
Yeah,
shit,
yeah, they don't they
but I
don't
thought it was
rarely
just so
switch
cool.
point of views. Yeah. But it's just, I mean, I love that you have that take on it. That's pretty cool.
I just thought it was cool
Yeah,
because he's trying to catch his mouse, but then the mouse turns into a gigantic damn bulldog who's going to bite your face
yeah.
off.
It's easier to catch Ed Norton than the Hulk. Like that's just the simplest way of like, you know.
Basically.
Yeah, that's why they gave the guy the super serum, and that's kind of that was a cool little bit because now you're tying into Captain America, and you're
Hmm.
seeing how the super serum, they don't say it yet because we haven't seen Captain America, where
Right.
it accelerates the qualities of you as a person. So obviously Tim Roth's character was not a great person, so it
What?
accelerated. Yeah, accelerated the like so it was really, really well handled in a lot of ways of just balancing the mythology, and, I did like that Bruce Banner's actively trying not to be the Hulk. He's doing
Yeah.
jujitsu, he's doing the meditations, he's doing all these things, and
Awesome.
and then at some point he's like, "It's just it's gonna happen. Once you endanger my girl, I'm gonna go nuts."
Yeah.
And he does save some people too. He saves some soldiers, he saves some humans, I think, which I think is a good quality because, like, at the end of the day, Hulk is a monster, but he's still got that conscience. He's still a hero, and
Hmm.
I think even the Ang Lee version kind of just made him like King Kong, as opposed
Yeah.
to like, okay, he's still got a
The
conscience
Ang Lee
there.
what Ang Lee's version, I actually one of the things I wrote down was I think the Ang Lee version was held back by, like, if you remember some movies that had come out, I mean, like, kind of the King Kong thing, but, like, specifically, my brain went to Mighty Joe Young, and I feel like there was a couple other movies like that back in the
Yeah,
day where it's just, like, this big for those who don't know, Mighty Joe Young's basically King Kong, he's only 20 feet tall instead of whatever, but he's just a gigantic gorilla who,
Disney's
the
version of King
kid
Kong.
knows him. Yeah, basically the kid knows him, and the kid can be friends with him, but then it's the exact same story. Then the military comes in and they're trying to capture him and makes him mad and he destroys everything. And so I think the Ang Lee version was more of like the trying to be the gentle giant who you don't piss off. And I think this movie, the Norton version, established itself in a really good way away from that. You have to acknowledge it because that's kind of what Hulk is to a certain point, especially when you involve Betty Ross. I just thought it did such a good job. And also, I just want to put one shout out. Let's go, Phil Dunphy. Good
Yeah,
God. What?
he's set up to be like the boyfriend, the bad guy, the one that, and
Yeah,
he's
dude.
like, no, man, he's a class act. He's like, I'm not gonna. I
He
know.
really
He
is.
goes, I know you're the general, you're the asshole. I was like, and I was like, yeah, Phil Dunphy all the way.
Heck yeah.
I would give him the MVP just for like the two scenes he's in, and he's just delightful. Like he could easily have been just like, "Oh, your boyfriend's back." No, he's like, "Oh shit," because he saw her the way they look. When she saw him in the restaurant, she
Yeah.
was just like, "You're this is my." And he's like, "Ah," he's like, I'm out. I'm done."
And
Um,
man, I also want to give a shout out to the scene where Hulk keeps Betty from burning up in the helicopter crash.
yeah,
Because that whole man, we've seen 100,000. How many action movies have we seen? And how many, like, oh, they definitely survived that scenes, like, oh, it looks like they died, but dude, it looked like that helicopter wiped both of them off the face of the earth.
yeah,
Like, what a cool, but it didn't like. I thought it did a really good job of absolutely looking like they just got wiped off the damn
Yeah.
the prairie, and then obviously, the smoke clears and there they are. But like, dude, what a cool sequence that was, man! The
Yeah, they
momentum of that helicopter just, and then the way the flames just, I don't know if that's CGI or practical or what, but that shit looked awesome.
yeah, the effects hold up too. They're pretty good. I mean, the style of the Hulk is interesting. He's not he's big, but he's not like King Kong. I think that's kind
Mm,
of smart point of it. Trying to think what else. Yeah, it was good. Like it's a base. It checked the marks.
yeah,
It was the movie I wanted in 2003.
I mean,
And to
obviously,
to the
yeah.
point, like I remember watching the first time, like I love the last shot of him as Hulk where he's literally like doing the Spider-Man swing through New York, through Harlem, whatever. I'm like, that's what we wanted, kid. We wanted that in 2003, and we got an art house movie. So,
Mhm.
they knew they were like, this is you've been waiting for this. We're gonna give it to you down the road. I'm trying to think. The only person that actually thinks they're in a comic movie, I was watching this, is the Mr. Blue, the scientist that becomes Megamind.
Yeah.
He's the only
Uh,
one that's like, "Oh, a
I
comic
believe
movie?
if
I guess this
I
guy's
only
a
know this from Marvel
monster."
Snap, but I believe that's the leader.
The leader, yes, and then to get ahead of ourselves, he reprised his role in Brave New Worlds, Captain
Oh, is
America.
that when he comes back? I know he comes back. Is that the
Yeah,
movie he comes
he's
back in?
Brave
Okay.
New World is a secret sequel to this movie
Basically, yeah.
without
Yeah, but
without
I saw
Mark
Brave New World
Ruffalo.
without having seen this first,
Yeah.
and
So like you would have to watch this if you want to enjoy. Keep knocking to my stand. Sorry. You would have to watch this to kind of enjoy Brave New World a little bit. But he's the only
yeah,
character in the movie that's like, the comic movie. Look at him. He's a god. Just like the way he's reciting his lines. It's like, calm down, guys. Come on.
he's
But it
so
was,
fun. I love that actor. I don't
yeah,
recall his name, but
he's like
man,
one
he's
of the
so
best
good.
character actors too, and he knew it. He's like he
He
showed up. He's
really
like,
is.
I'm just
He
gonna.
was he was in Brothers Where Art Thou, right? Or Oh
Yeah,
Brother Where Art Thou?
yeah. He was in Minority
What a
Report. He's like he's a great actor. So like
Oh
he's
yeah,
yeah, he's not like some sort of Joe Blow off the street. He showed up, but it's
he's
just
good.
everyone else is really kind of taking it a little bit seriously, just serious enough.
Mhm.
And he's like, "Oh, I'm gonna this is a Hulk is a green guy on my table." Like, but why do we take this so seriously?
It's so good.
It's good, yeah. And then it's cool. They I think at the end of the movie when Tony Stark shows up, that was absolutely a reshoot. That had to be like they were like, okay, we're committed to this Avengers thing, and they don't even do it in mid credits. They do it right after the
Right.
movie. So
Yeah,
they're
yeah.
like, we're gonna like. So that was kind of Marvel saying we're in the Avengers business.
We're doing this now.
Doesn't yeah, and I was like, it doesn't quite line up with Avengers, but I think there's enough time in between where Tony Stark isn't the Nick Fury. Like he kind of comes in like Nick Fury.
Yeah.
And there is mention of in like the credits, I think it says Nick Fury, Shield. So you start
Yeah,
seeing
in
the
the title
pepper in
credits, it talks about that
all
for
the
sure.
Easter eggs that are like, oh, this
And
is
the office, the like the police office, the military office where they like find the Mr. Blue
yeah.
message. That's Shield. I mean, that's got Shield
Oh, it's
logos
gotta be
all over this, but
yeah, I think that was it. The other cool fun Easter egg was they had Lou Ferrigno who played the Hulk in the TV show. And
yeah.
it's like in his contract, he has to be like the Hulk in a cameo. But he played a security guard in this one. And I think in the Banner one, he was a security guard as well.
Was he?
He
Yes, he was. He
when
walked out
Stan
with
Lee
Lou
walks out,
Ferrigno
yeah,
in
so
that
that
one.
was kind of
Yeah.
a cool that's the only kind of semi connection between them is like, but what else is Lou Ferrigno
So
gonna play besides a buff security guard? He's not gonna
yeah.
play, you know,
So what
what would be the opposite of it?
here's a question, and I'm like maybe something we can kind of go through with each one. The
Yeah.
Stanley cameo. He's the guy who drinks the green soda that gets the whole basic plot
Yeah.
started because he so I'm sure you know the theory of who Stan Lee
Yeah,
is
he's
in
like
the
the
Marvel
watcher, the
he's the
lead. Yeah,
Watcher.
yeah.
So do you like how does that I don't know. I don't know if there's something to be done or said about that. I just think it's kind of fun. I don't know why the Watcher would be drinking soda, but
It's really it's like the one cameo in a movie series where it doesn't it takes you out, but you're happy it does. Like
yeah.
it's like if when he died, and then I remember they're like, "How are you gonna do the cameos for the other movies?" And it's fitting that Endgame I think was the last one,
Yeah.
and I think
It was either Endgame or Spider-Man 3, the No Way
yeah,
Home.
one of
One of
those.
those 2.
But I was like, it was kind of it feels like it's not a Marvel movie without it. So it's the only cameo you're like, okay, cool. Like you get a little chuckle and you move on, and it doesn't take you out.
Okay, I feel like it always like
And it's just, and then none of it makes
it all
sense.
the
And
cameos always come when you're not like you're not
Yeah.
expecting to see Stan Lee, you're just into the movie, and then they're like he's there. You're like, oh yeah, yeah, all right,
Yeah.
we got it, good deal. So happy to see you, bud. Hope you're good.
I always when he pops up, I always think of like Jane Silent Bob when they had Mark Hamill come out and goes, "Hey kids, it's Mark Hamill." It should be like, "Hey kids, it's Stan Lee." Just like
Yeah,
uh,
Excelsior.
yeah, and he's just it's just a cute little thing, and I even if they try to legitimize it, make him like the watcher leader or whatever comic book thing, I don't need it. I'm cool with him
No,
being
I
a,
know.
a mailman in one movie and a hippie in another movie. Like it's just
Oh, I
Stan
know.
Lee. He's always there, and it's sad that like and it's weird like when he died, the movie's kind of tanked a little bit. It kind of his magic is missed. So
Yeah.
but it was yeah, I mean, it's so cool that they started doing this little trend, and I think they must have started doing that in other movies too. Like I know he was in some of the Spider-Mans too, so it's
Oh
beyond
yeah.
MCU. It wasn't like an MCU exclusive. Like he
No,
was
he was in. I don't know if he was in the X-Men. He was definitely in Spider-Man's.
I gotta look into it. I gotta look into it. I know
Yeah.
he pops in Spider-Man 3 at least. I think so, or
Yeah.
Spider-Man 2. So,
I,
but
it's been a while since I watched that trilogy.
I
But
can't
I
wait
mean,
till we get through all these
we got No
movies.
Way Home or
Yeah,
what? Not No Way Home. Whatever the new one is
I'm trying to
coming
think. If I
out.
had to
So
rank
I'll
it
do a
in the two
rewatch.
movies we watch, I think I like his what was his cameo in this one? I forget now. Hold on. He
And this
was
one, he was the one that drank the soda pop.
yeah, okay, so I like that over him as Hugh Hefner. Like he goes, "Hey," he's like he
Oh yeah,
basically or whatever the throwaway thing was in Iron Man. Um, that's the ranking so far. I don't know. We can keep going. I'm trying.
that's good.
I think I have a favorite one, and I'm not. I don't want to say just yet until we get to
So
it.
and who was he in Iron Man? What was this cameo there?
I think he was like Hugh Hefner. I think he was take it
Oh,
easy,
he
Hef.
was came out with the red robe. Yeah, yeah,
Yeah, when he
yeah.
was going to the gala thing, and he's on the red carpet. He's like,
Was he playing Hugh Hefner or
"Well,
was he just
that's
Stan Lee in a red robe that
It was
Tony
Stan Lee in a
mistook
red
for Hef?
robe, but Tony Stark goes, "Hey, Hef," and it's like it makes no sense. It just it makes no sense.
Well, he also
But you
calls the
don't care.
soldier Forrest because he doesn't talk. Like he's just
Yeah, it doesn't.
yeah.
He's in space in Guardians of the Galaxy. Like
No,
none
it's
of it
great.
matters. You
None of it
accept.
matters. It's
You
so
can't.
good.
Stan Lee can't do any wrong, so you just accept it.
So all right. So for tier list situation, I would put Iron Man 1 above Hulk, though I enjoyed this movie reasonably, like pretty respectably.
Yeah, I think Iron Man 2 has that like first movie appeal and Tony Stark's charm, and this one is like your baseline
It was
comedy.
good. It was just good.
Like if
Yeah.
you want to make a good
Like a solid 7,
serviceable,
like solid 7, 7.5,
yeah,
like
I was entertained. I was never bored. Never like there was nothing stupid. It made me excited for the next movie. So this was definitely like your run of the mill standard operating superhero movie. And it redeemed the Hulk, and then they
mhm,
passed the Hulk. I will say this, and I think what's smart on their part is they kept like Bruce Banner is like a science nerd, but he's not like
yeah,
Peter Parker. He's
yeah,
almost like women love him, but he doesn't know what to do with them. Like that's the one thing he doesn't. He's just, and they do that with Ruffalo. Ruffalo's like, I'm a science guy. I don't, and this Black Widow is like throwing herself out.
right,
So they keep that going, and it's not out of the realm of possibilities that he would land a woman like Liv Tyler or like he's got the juice, and they keep that mold kind of going.
yeah.
Um, well, now that we've seen 3 of the banners, the actors, I mean, we're getting ahead of ourselves with Ruffalo, but Ruffalo's there for the long run, so he's kind of the MCU Hulk. But if you had to rank the 3, how would you rank them? Would you rank them as it's not that
I
hard to
really
rank them.
it's I mean, clearly, and no, I enjoy Eric Bana generally, but he's easily the 3rd out of 3.
Yeah.
Like, that's not a question. I mean, good lord.
We're
Uh,
not looking for him to reprise his role in, like, Secret
yeah,
Wars or
no,
something
thank
as
you. No, I'll take him as his Star Trek character. That's always fun,
he
but
just shows up. Now we're just mashing things together.
yeah.
Now we're just, "Look, it's
Yeah.
Jack Sparrow
Patton
coming through
Oswalt does
portal."
another filibuster, and now everyone's back.
Yeah, it's just toys.
Um, so I mean, I think for the way that Hulk gets used in the MCU over the course of its tenure, I think Ruffalo was a it's going to be really hard to imagine Norton doing the Ruffalo part because Hulk gets a little bit more cartoony than he is portrayed in this movie.
Yeah.
And I'm not saying it's a bad thing. I love cartoons. But he definitely like, especially when he get in Endgame where he's like Banner Hulk, like he's they're he gets really cartoonish and a little buffoonish, and I think Ruffalo plays that smart but serious but strong kind of mix in in where they use Hulk more comedically. And I don't know, I'm not saying Norton can't do comedy, he clearly can, but I think his version of Hulk is more grounded and meditative, and I would be very interested to travel to an alternate universe where Norton stayed in the MCU and just see what that looks like.
Based off like next appearance of Hulk is in Avengers, and based off of that, I can't imagine Norton being getting pushed around by Tony Stark. Like there in that when they're in the
Mhm.
lab, Tony Stark is like kind of he's not bullying him, but he's like definitely like
Yeah, no, he
he's like
wouldn't.
prodding him,
Norton wouldn't.
and Ruffalo's like just leave me alone, dude. Like I don't want like Tony Stark is the alpha in that
Yeah.
situation. I don't know if Ed Norton could would put up with that bullshit.
Also,
I
I
think
don't know if
it'd be more of a Captain America Iron Man situation where they're like dueling for attention. So I think it was I don't yeah, if they went in that direction and kept that direction, assuming that's what they were going to do, I don't think Norton would fit in as much. I will say
I
this
don't
going back to your quick point because I don't want to forget it. It's interesting that you said that he gets goofier, or not goofier, but he gets lighthearted as he goes. They do the same thing with Thor.
they
And
do.
it's interesting that I always thought I was like, why did Hulk and Thor in is not
Ragnarok.
Love yeah, Ragnarok. I almost said Love and Thunder. We don't talk about that one yet. I was like,
We will.
why are those two characters in like a bit of a comedy? And it's so funny because they both got that same treatment. They were from super serious, brooding to now
And
being foils.
they're both the strongest, most badass,
Yeah.
like,
So it makes sense.
and
Like when they
they
were coming up with ideas, like, oh, I get it now. Like it took me 20 years now reflecting on this, watching them again, see how serious and how they took their.
that'll be
It's
really interesting to keep
yeah,
diving into as we see it unravel.
like they could have put any other character there, but they took Hulk, who was very
Yeah.
serious, brooding, angsty,
I'm
Thor, brooding, angsty in some ways,
mhm.
and then they gave him the comedy version of their duel. I'm like, okay, I'm liking a little bit of a. I'm excited for the rewatch on that one now. So
I'm really excited for the ooh, that's kind of a fun thing. What,
you hit
like,
on it. You cleared up something that was I don't even not subconsciously gnawed on me. Like you like, oh,
w
they took this guy, made him goofy. I'm like, he was kind of serious in the last two movies, and especially
yeah.
this one. Now he's cracking jokes with Thor, and Thor was the same thing. So they both kind of like met at the same point. So,
Mhm. I'm
interesting.
really I am very based on that conversation, I'm really excited to get into when we get into Thor 1 and Thor 2 Dark World.
Yeah,
I
those are my two least watched ones too. So
man, well, I just so Thor was I have in my own personal rewatch before we started this, I watched Iron Man 2 and I watched Thor. So I got those 2 and then I'm as fresh as you are going into everything after that. Um, and I don't think everybody remembers Thor 1 the way that it actually is. And I'm really excited to get
I
into it.
feel like I do. I've seen that maybe like two times maybe I'd say. Dark World I've watched once. That was one of the that
Yeah,
from
I don't
for a
remember
while
Dark World at
that
all.
was bottom tier. Like that was like
But
the
and
baseline of
Dark World was like a big reason why Thor was such a drunk, depressed sumbitch in the beginning of Endgame was because of the events of Dark World. The events of Dark World like launched his slow descent into depression over the course of the
when I
whole
saw Endgame, I
cinematic
was
universe.
shocked at how much they leaned into Dark World. Like I didn't realize Dark World was an important movie until until Endgame
I
happened. I
think
was
it
like,
was for him, but
they
like
must have done it to just like stick it to the fans a little bit.
I'm really excited for that
Yeah,
episode.
like it was like I was when I first saw, it, I was like, what? I didn't know Dark World was this crucial focal point of the whole series, but here we are reliving it. The one movie that I was like, that was the baseline of like, that's bottom tier, and it's not like bad. It's just the weakest one, and from what I remember when I first watched it. So like the fact that they doubled down on it and they're like, we're going back, bitches. We're going back to Dark World. This is gonna be like of the biggest movie of our
Mhm.
series. Dark. I was like, that's kind of a cool choice. So
Yeah,
I'm
I'm
interested to
excited.
watch it again, knowing Endgame, because I haven't watched it
Agreed.
since. Yeah.
Me neither. Me neither. I'm excited.
So this is cool. Yeah. I love again, this is what I was hoping to do when we're getting into these movies was like, oh, this triggered that. And we're jumping ahead, but come on,
Sure.
kids. If you haven't watched the movies yet, then you're
Then
on
join us. We're
join
doing it
us,
all
yeah.
together.
And then yeah, like that's all I'm gonna say. Like if you haven't, I can't
Let's
imagine.
go.
But
Yeah.
what else are you thinking about? Any last thoughts on Hulk, Incredible Hulk? Hulk. I don't like to say it that
No,
way. Hulk.
I think we've asked
Swedish
that
version.
everything there is. I really enjoyed it more than I thought I would, to be honest. And
It scratched an itch for me. It
it
scratched that
scratched an itch, and I
2003
like it's
Spider-Man version of it.
we really don't get to see we don't get to see Hulk like this ever again. Like
Yeah,
the closest is Avengers 1, but he's still like a little campy, sledgehammer in that. But by the time we get to Age of Ultron, like I don't like I mean like we
he
have
does. He
the
loses. He
he gets his ass
loses.
beat by Tony in Age of Ultron, like which
He
is
loses.
fine. It's
He loses that
but
struggle, the inner struggle of like,
yeah.
or he. I mean, he controls it. He figures it out.
So oh, I had
But
one more thought.
yes,
The last shot on Ed Norton is him doing his little meditation thing. It says days since incident
yeah,
31 right at the end. And he looks up, he smiles, and he's got the green eyes. I think that if that moment serves anything, I think that's him beginning to master his I'm always angry cap
yeah,
situation. Or like that's
yeah.
my secret. I'm always angry.
That's probably the trajectory of it. Like so that way
And like
when he could turn it on and off like that,
mhm.
got it. I will say this: the whole two
Like,
Hulk
what
movies.
a man, I really wish we had a Hulk movie again before Avengers 1, to be honest. Like,
Yeah, I know.
I wish there was a Hulk 2. I think there's something there, but obviously
The Hulk movies, both of them, good or bad, they
mhm.
always end on a shot that I'm like, I want to see the next movie. Like, I want to see Hulk
Right?
in the jungle with a
How
beard. I was
remind me
obsessed
the
with
Ang
that.
Lee
That
version.
was the
How did
one.
that
Yeah, the
end?
Ang Lee one. I was like, that was the one thing. I was like, that was the coolest thing in the movie. Is him like in Spanish or Portuguese, whatever. He's like, oh, don't make me angry, and he's got. I want to see a Hulk beard. Like that's so stupid. I was like, that's all, the low hanging fruit I was reaching for, and they do that same kind of thing in the Incredible Hulk too. It's like I want to see that version of Hulk. So they always know how to keep me wanting more with it, even if it's not great or if it's pretty good. But
Yeah,
yeah, I just want to see Hulk beard, and he never gave it to me.
yeah.
So
And I
if you listen to this, Kevin Feige, for Secret Wars, I want a
there you
Hulk
go.
beard.
There we go.
I
Hulk
want a
beard.
Hulk beard. I'm there. I'm 2 stars already.
He's
Automatic.
basically Kratos reboot
Yeah.
with the beard. That's it.
I'm a man of simple taste. Just give me put a
That's right.
beard on your green monsters, and I'm there.
I
But
mean,
yeah,
yeah. Who
it's
doesn't want a beard in your green monsters?
yeah, it's just beards are good. Look, we're rocking beards. We're good. That's it. We're not
It's
green
the
or
best.
hulky. We're the Incredible Bulk maybe for
Yeah.
some of us. But yeah, it was a good time, and it's I love that they led into Avengers. It's interesting now to see that kind of thing. This was the last time we dealt with Bruce Banner internal struggle,
Yeah.
and that's kind of cool because it opened up new avenues. And I know there's a lot of people out there that are like, I want my Hulk angry and I want him conflicted, and it's a lot, and it's also very expensive.
Well, I mean, yeah, and it's also like when he Hulk needs the Avengers as a unit, I think used Hulk the best the way that he ends up in the MCU. And for better or for worse, for the Hulk character individually, I don't know if that's the strongest way to use him. If this was just a series of Hulk movies, then no, he shouldn't necessarily. Maybe he gets to that eventually, but not as quickly as he did.
Yeah.
But I think in the dynamic of a team of 6 people, I think that I mean Avengers 1 is like probably, it's a very beloved version of the Hulk and obviously we'll get into that when we get there, but
I will say this: it makes no sense down, they don't address it. Is that like he never goes back to Betty? He never finds her and like reconnects. And like in this movie, there's this like that moment in the restaurant. It's like they're star-crossed lovers. They're just meant
yeah.
to be. And
Mhm.
then like I guess rights and
That
whatever nonsense is. Well, let's get Scarlett Johansson to be the love interest. And I
yeah.
never jived with that. It just felt forced, and there was never that kind of, and even like Endgame, they just nod at each other like it's over, we're moving on. But like now, down the road, he's obviously like mastered his skills. He's smart Hulk. He's
Mhm.
Spider-Man. The trailer is he's back to normal. He figured out how to go back and forth.
Okay.
We didn't even talk about She-Hulk, but that's a whole different story. Um,
Well,
that's a whole different story.
we'll see if we get into that when we get there.
It's got to be mentioned in the conversation of Hulk, but we'll get that when that's down the road.
That's way down the road.
But he's kind of in a healthy place as a person, and the fact that he never reached out to her and like reconnected, and she came back in Captain America, the newest Captain America. So
Yeah.
it's like it's a little. I would like to see that and just them connect, because in this movie you felt it. Like it felt like
Yeah.
they're
Dude, they had
Mary
great
Jane and
chemistry.
Peter
And like
Parker. This is Pepper
Liv
Potts and
Tyler
Iron
for
Man.
me is hit or miss. And like, I mean, she's gorgeous. There's nothing taking that from her. But like
Yeah,
like it's some movie. It's the. I need to rewatch Lord of the Rings. So, if Lord of the Rings fans, please don't be mad at me. Her character in Lord of the
Come
Rings,
after
whose
him.
name
I give
is
you
escaping
permission.
me. I, fair enough. I mean, I need to rewatch them too. Add it to the list.
They're
But
gonna
we
come. The
have
Lord of the Ring fans are gonna come for you, but it's gonna take them at least 12 hours and 3 movies to get to you.
that makes a lot of sense,
They're
and
gonna be very slow about it, but when they show up, you better be ready.
all right. Well, now you're more in trouble than I am, so that's great. But
Hey, we're
so
in this together, man. Come on.
I think her portrayal in Lord of the Rings almost kind of did her a mild, like, it's a great movie. She did great in it, no negative. But I think it did her a mild disservice for her career because so many of her parts is just her kind of like looking good in light and just kind of staring off
That was
camera.
Jennifer Connelly too. She's just
And
like because they're beautiful women. They have these eyes and
yeah,
just like like longingly hung. Like it's just I don't know. Maybe that's the character. Maybe Betty Ross needs a better movie.
I
Just
mean,
she's just kind of
Betty,
there, like please, I
yeah,
love
Betty
him.
Ross is not
You don't
the most
understand him.
strongest of characters that
You don't
exist.
understand him like I do. He's just only occasionally green. I love him. Dad, why
Now I'm
don't you
almost
like my
done with my
boyfriend?
whiskey,
That
so
was a great line in
is
the
he
Flawed.
green everywhere?
No, he goes, "Where did you find these guys?" That was such a good fucking line. He's just like, "God, our choice
Yeah.
in men are just aggravating."
Oh,
Where do they
dude.
find these
Oh,
guys?
I have two other notes here. Like, that doesn't matter. We can close it up. I
No,
think
I want to
we've
hear
reached
them.
our.
Where do you
So,
got?
so in the cave, I just thought it was such a fun little moment when like we're in the cave and Hulk, like she sees Hulk and he's just, he's got her safe and he's doing this. And then he stands up and hits his head. What a wonderful
Yeah,
moment to show the human that's inside of Hulk.
yeah.
Just like he hits his head and like what it was just like such a general reaction that we've all done who people over a certain height that hit our heads all the time. Like we just like
Except when he
just like,
does it, you're
this
like, he's
type of
gonna lose
thing.
his mind. He's
What a
yeah.
great moment to see that character do right after this huge rampage situation. And then obviously in the bed in the hotel afterwards where they're getting busy and he's like, I can't get excited. She's like, not even a little excited. Like
It's the one again. It's the second movie
great
in.
tongue in cheek, man.
They
Love
never
it.
really deal with sex at all down the road, like at
No,
all.
no, we can't
Once the
get into
kids
that. It's
start
PG
showing up, they're
13.
like, yeah, like well, we don't need
No,
to, you know.
no. It's yeah, you know how babies are made? They kiss. And that's why it
Yeah.
only happens
The
once or twice a movie.
and then you have like Tony Stark in Age of Ultron goes, "Stop playing hide the zucchini" or something. I was like, oh, big joke. That's awesome. But yeah,
There you
it's
go.
kind of cool. They're like, we're gonna deal with this, But
Yeah, I
overall,
enjoyed it.
great movie,
Great
fun,
movie. I
solid.
enjoyed it.
Yeah, I mean, when it came out, it didn't light the box office up. It kind of was like it was there. It was mid tier,
Uh-huh.
made money, but it wasn't like a blockbuster. And even Iron Man wasn't like this massive thing either yet
Yeah.
until Avengers. And so it's kind of cool to see it like these movies just sort of come on the radar. And you're like, and you look back, you think they're all mega blockbusters. They weren't. They were just kind of making
Wasn't
money, a little bit in change, but that was it. They weren't
yeah.
lighting things up.
Wasn't
So,
it this movie where you can see Captain America's shield in the ice? I
ooh,
didn't even catch that. I
I
think it
don't.
was this movie.
That might no. I think in Iron Man 2, there's a shot of him like lifting up something with the shields. I don't think this is
No, 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 no.
in
This is
ice.
there's I think in this movie there's you see Cap's shield in the ice in the Arctic somewhere.
Where
Maybe
is
in
it?
one of the screens behind in the military thing. I don't remember. We'd
It's
have to look
maybe in the
into it.
files or something. Like there's, I remember in the opening scenes,
There's
there's a
something.
shield.
I'm pretty
Yeah,
sure it was this
it
one.
might be like a blink and you miss it thing. But I know in Iron Man 2
Yeah.
they have the shield. Like it's thick.
Yes, yes, yes.
And it makes no sense like how that shield was built. But it's cool. It's a cool little Easter egg. Got us all excited. We're like the Leonardo DiCaprio meme. That was it. Right there. Right there. Right there. I
Oh!
know that. I know that. A lot of that's going to be happening in the next few movies. It's just going. There.
Oh!
That should be a segment of the podcast. Is the Leo meme? Like, did you see that? Did you see that?
Oh!
And just us listen. Did you see that? Did you see Thor's
Um,
hammer?
so what's the phrase you're giving it? The honorary best character? I think it goes to Phil Dunphy. I don't know how it could be anyone
Yeah, I
else.
kind of want to give it to him because he's like in two
No,
scenes.
it's great.
He subverts your
He's
expectations of what that character would be, and then
perfect.
he sticks to the general. Like I think of
Yeah.
anyone in that movie, he gets the victory over the general. He's like, I'm not telling you, you're an asshole.
Yeah.
And he's like, I don't know where she finds these guys. So it's just great line.
So good.
I would give it to
So
him, yeah.
good,
And
man.
then second would be the leader, I guess, because he's just in a different movie, and I
He's
appreciate
fun.
it.
Yeah. It's a
He's a
good time.
monster. I forget what line he was, but I was like, that's that's like he
He's
knows
a
what. Yeah,
god.
something like just absurd. Like he's just, and it's good because they're setting the president for him to turn into the bad guy, and it's like
Mhm.
anyone in this room, he's gonna be the bad guy.
Yeah.
So great. It was a good time. I
I would
enjoyed it.
I hope the stars align to make this happen. But like the idea, I don't know much about Hulk lore. I read World War Hulk, I read Planet Hulk. I was really into that, but that's all like after the fact type of Hulk stories. I really didn't do a whole lot of like early Hulk lore.
Yeah, there's so much. It's
I
like
want to see a movie so bad with Leader versus Hulk. Because I just love the idea of absolute brawn versus absolute brain. And I just think it's such a fun. I
yeah,
want to see it.
I think
And I think
Everyone
that
wanted World
actor
War
can
Hulk,
kill it.
but
I
yeah,
want a World War Hulk so bad.
and they kind of give you a little bit of in
I'm mad at
Ragnarok.
Ragnarok. We'll get into Ragnarok
Yeah,
one day. I'm mad at it because that's my Planet Hulk. And now I don't get Planet Hulk. I don't get him to have a love
yeah.
interest. I don't get, he doesn't meet Kyra. He doesn't meet any of the, like, he doesn't become the ruler of the planet. I'm, I'm never going to get over it because that story, that is to me, again, I haven't read every Hulk story in the universe, but that is the best Hulk
Yeah,
storyline I've
that's what
ever
all the
read.
fans want. They're like, that's like the
Mm.
quintessential Hulk thing. It's like Civil War too. Like, and I think Marvel had a tendency to take the big comic books like the Civil War, World War, and sort of
And
condense
just,
them
I
and put them in
know.
like these like mini
And they,
movies. So, but I'm thinking about this now
I
because they're
know.
obviously going to reboot the series down the road. So they didn't do it so well that you can't revisit it. So there is a possibility in down the road they'll do.
You know what they could do some badass Disney Plus like 6 to 8
Yeah,
episode miniseries and flesh those types of stories out.
yeah, just
I'm
do like
actually
little one
reading
shots. Like
I'm
just
reading right now. I'm in the middle of Avengers versus X-Men. And for those who don't know, I've been reading since the start of X-Men. I say start. I read like a reboot of the super original cast of five plus Professor X. And then I read all of Chris Claremont stuff from like the 70s. And right now I'm in 2012.
nerd.
Like all the major, not every issue, but it's taken me like 4 years. So I kind of just
Wow.
read it as I fall asleep. But right now I'm in Avengers versus X-Men. And man, there's some good stuff, man. What did I just read? Literally, it was like this morning or last night. It's so there's like the plot of Avengers versus X-Men, and then there's a different issue called Avengers vs. X-Men Versus. And literally in the recap page of the comic, it's like, hey, what do I need to know going into this? And it's like a Q&A between the reader and the writer. And it's just like, you don't need to know anything. It's just punching. All you need to know is the Avengers are fighting the X-Men, and here's where they get to punch each other. And like it's very tongue in cheek, and it's just a good time. The one I just read was Storm versus Black Panther, and in this part of the story, they are married, and so it is the parallel of the two, like it flashes from like because they got different text bubbles for her text and his text, and it flashes with a panel of like her saying, or I'm sorry, him like basically blocking a lightning bolt or something, and he's like, this was just never going to work out. And then it flashes to her, and it was like, we could have been so happy. And it was like, it's just this dichotomy between the two of them, like regretting where they're at, but also neither can back down. Mm. Mwah, mwah. Great. That is how comic stories are told, is that stupid little fight. Avengers versus X-Men versus probably number 6 or 7. I don't know. The Storm versus Black Panther, man. It was mwah, chef's kiss.
We might get that down the road. They're
Mm,
bringing the new X-Men in.
so good.
It's a good
Yeah.
opportunity. Like start blending them X-Men.
So
When they bring the X-Men
my,
back, and they are, I want them to
oh, I
blend into
know.
the Avengers. I don't want this like X-Men movie, and then I want them a part of the universe.
Having read everything that I've read, Storm is the best X-Men in my humble opinion. Rogue is
Really?
number 2, and Cyclops is number 3. I love me some Wolverine, as does everybody. Nightcrawler's fantastic. So many of them
I
are
was
so
never
good.
a Storm like fan, but
Oh, it's because
I
you
haven't
didn't
been
read.
exposed.
You
Yeah, I haven't been
didn't.
exposed to good Storm
Mm.
material.
Dude, the 90s, I love me the 90s cartoon. I'm excited for 97 season 2. They season 1 of 97 began to do Storm justice. She's way cooler. She's so much cooler, and so one of my favorite things about Storm is she is claustrophobic, and so her, like, flying through the skies and having control of the weather and the winds and the lightning, like, that's her happy place. She is literally claustrophobic. There's so many times in the stories where she ends up, like, in a prison box, and she basically like, she has to fight to keep from having a mental breakdown, and the people who know her know what she's going through and work harder to even get her out because they know she's actually going, like, it's not just that she's trapped and dying of, like, anxiety. Like, and like, before she had her mutant powers, she was literally a thief on the streets, and, like, so she has, like, her hairpiece is a lockpick. Like, she is a thief. She just happens to gain the
when
powers that she gains. She's
whenever someone
so cool.
whenever a comic book reader comes up and tells me like like just like how you just did it, I'm like, that is
Mm,
the greatest thing.
so good.
I almost 9 times out of 10, I'm like, that's the movie I want to see. But if someone
Uh,
described them in a movie,
well,
I'm like, no, it's like the
they are
nuance is
so.
gone.
I mean, I think on the path is Storm. Like, Storm is getting her own movie, kind of leading up to, like, the X-Men Assemble movie,
We'll see. I
and
don't know. Yeah. I
I think,
mean,
I mean, it was in the path at some point. They were talking about doing, like, a Storm movie, and man, I hope they do it. Oh
yeah.
God, I hope they get her right.
Yeah, they
Storm,
really that's
man,
like think of like how the Hulk versus Incredible Hulk, like now they're going after X-Men. They have to learn from the past
X Men,
mistakes. And I don't want it to
X
be
Men
and
is
I don't want it to be live action 97 either. Like that
no,
was
no, no,
cool.
no,
I want it
no.
to
It's great. We have
feel
97. I love it. Let's roll with it.
I want to feel it a part of the MCU. Like what the characters and when you put them in the MCU, how they adjust and how they work, that's what they should do. And like there's the box. You don't have to reinvent the wheel. You don't have to
No,
rip
they
off
have such a
97
great
and everything else.
opportunity to basically do, like, X-Men Phase 1.
Yeah.
Like, screw it's not Avengers Phase 1, it's X-Men Phase 1. Give us the stories you want us to give us, and then let's bring them together and do the thing. Like, they have abilities to do that. I hope they don't waste it, because there are
And they're
some.
like the most over filmed characters. There's like so many X-Men movies. So it's like you're fighting that idea of like oversaturation kind of thing. Like we've seen the prequels, we've seen the newbies, we've seen the old people, we've seen them kind of reskinned in 97
There's
stuff, and that's what the Doomsday is going to probably do too. I want to see the MCU one. I want to see the new fresh thing. I want to like it's time to rebrand them and like
Mhm,
and I want it to be Avengers light. I want to stay true to the characters.
yeah.
And I want them to live in a world where Tony Stark existed. I want them to operate in the world where Thor existed
Well,
and then just bring them together.
do you know how Rogue gets her powers, the powers she has in the animated show?
In the show,
Flying
I
around,
forget.
super strength. She flies and has super strength. That's like, but Rogue's
I thought
actual power, is absorption
yeah,
of somebody else.
she can heal like if she's touches Wolverine, she can get the healing powers. So she's like
Right.
a I don't know, mimic or whatever. I don't know. Go on.
So I mean, her power actually is absorption of kind of that person. When they have powers, she gets the powers, but, like, she kissed a boy when she was a teenager and sucked the life out of him.
Yeah.
She just absorbed it. So, Rogue starts off as a villain. And she's, like, in the Brotherhood of Mutants. Mystique is basically her pseudo mom. And so Rogue starts off as a villain. And the reason she becomes the Rogue that we all know and love is because she basically gets Captain Marvel, Brie Larson's character, goes after Rogue trying to bring her into justice. And Rogue sucks so much of her power out of her that she keeps it permanently. And also, in later books, and the reason she joins the X-Men is because she now has Carol Danvers living inside of her head. And so she really struggles with, like,
That
multiple personality disorder because she's
that's
like,
shit they wouldn't do in the movies. That's just
"Oh, it's
that's
so
just too out
good."
there, man. That's just too out
No, I know, I
I like the
know, I
idea. I like the
know.
idea of like she consumes Captain Marvel's powers, and she's so strong that she has like reserves basically, and it's so powerful,
But
potent.
she
But the
then
whole living in
she
your
needs
head
she needs to join the
that's
X-Men because she needs Professor X's help to
get
get
her
a
out.
handle on herself because
Okay.
she's becoming schizophrenic.
Ah, that's interesting. Okay, that's
It's
interesting.
so It's so interesting. It's so cool.
God, you're making the MCU sound like shit now.
It
It's like,
is. I love the
have you
MCU
guys read
so
a
much.
comic book?
It's bro. I mean, listen. I read these things most nights falling asleep, and it's taken me 3 to 4 years to get
Yeah,
from 1973 ish to 2012. Like it's
but that's
I'm
like that's
knocking
my
out about 10
biggest.
years of comics every year.
Yeah, that's like my biggest thing is like, why are we making bad superhero movies when there's a library, literally like
Literally.
of years of like any great story. You just gotta
Yeah.
adapt that
If Marvel
story.
Unlimited wants to sponsor our show, I will
Yeah, it'd be
talk
great.
the
We'll
hell
we'll
up.
we'll sell your comics, man. I'll start reading comics.
Hmm.
You know, I give enough to the Disney industry, so let's give it back to Marvel. Give
There we
those
go.
hardworking artists some money.
Let's
Um,
go. Oh, I
yeah,
got
but
opinions.
yeah.
But
Well, I think
anyway, well, we did a really
yeah,
bad job of sticking to an
we wanted to
hour.
do an hour and we ended up doing an hour and a half. Whatever, man. I've
Yeah,
had fun. It was a good time to
I'm
hang out.
having fun.
Next up is in the
Iron
MCU,
Man 2.
Iron Man Dos. I This is gonna be a fun one.
Mhm.
I understanding because I
Is this the last?
no,
We have the Don Cheadle recast, and then we have the Mark Ruffalo recast, and that's the last recast. Am I
huh?
making this up?
I feel like there might be more, but I don't remember.
I mean,
Yeah,
unless
that's
you
a good
count
question.
Harrison Ford, but
Well,
it's a bit late in the
yeah,
game.
that Harrison Ford would be another one. But yeah, but that was because the guy, William Hurt died, so
Yeah, I
can't do
know.
anything about that.
Unfortunate.
We'll discover those recasts as we keep watching and keep on
We sure
trucking down
will.
this journey.
Will we? You think
Yeah, we
so?
will. I think so. If you show
It's
up,
exciting.
if you guys watch, we will keep doing. If not, we're gonna hang out together. So,
Yeah.
thank you guys for hanging out with us and indulging us in our nerdy whims. My name is Stolis,
My name is Zach.
and we hope you come back to the movies.